Hey, yo, what the f***? This is a palace right here.
The late night flight is paid for by the following.
Time to play the game where we find out who's capping. It is...
This is the game where we find out if this is the bullshit. Nasua, New Rule, co-producer Smarts Co. What's good with you, bro?
I'm chilling, bro. How was you? How's everything with you, man?
You know what? Honestly, it don't even matter about two of us because, like you know, I was in Orlando last week,
yes, sir.
having my fun, but 50 miles in the south, going to Miami, Florida. I don't know if it's actually 50 miles, but you understand the point that I'm making.
Right.
It was a big collapse. Like, was this a hotel?
It was a condominium.
It was a condominium.
So it was a place where people actually lived. Like, it wasn't like, you know, people lived there. They had families. So it was people's dwellings, like their residence. So
now, this is ridiculous because we all know that Miami is built on Cubans, Haitians, and cocaine. But this does not mean that this building should have literally been built by cocaine. Like, how does it just fall in the middle of the summer?
Well, so the building, and considering how old buildings actually are, that still exist to this day, the building is not technically an old building. They got buildings in Miami that's been around since the 20s, you know, that are still structures that are still standing.
Yes.
So from my understanding, and I'm not going to be an expert, I'm just going by what I hear and what I read, that sand, salt, water, and heat is really, really corrosive. And so water was coming into the garage and it corroded the rebar and the cement and the metal, and people were inspecting and they were just kind of letting it slide and they didn't address it. So they was having contractors that were coming in to do certain jobs, and the contractors were saying, look, before we could even do anything, you guys have to fix this because it's horrible down here. It's bad down here. Residents were taking photos of pillars in the garage that were, you know, very severely damaged or whatever, what have you. So it was corrosion, you know, it was so close to the ocean.
Yeah.
High tides, king tides, they say it would come into the building. So it was always water just constantly coming into the building.
The fact that there was people that was being discovered 4, 5, 6 days later, it reminded me of the second Batman movie, like the newer ones. I think it was The Dark Knight Rises, the one with Bane, and they had the police down underground for like about a good 2-3 weeks. So now you're telling me you got people that's basically underdwelling down there, just trying to get up back to the surface.
We don't know. We hope there's people that's still down there that's alive and waiting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We've seen situations in Haiti with the earthquakes and 9/11 and stuff where people were in rubble and they survived for long periods of time. So I'm just hoping for those miracles that there are people, and we're praying for them, that there are people that are still alive, and we're just not going to have bad news after bad news after bad news.
So we just wanted to put that out there before the show even starts, man. To anybody that lived in that condominium, you know, our best wishes to you if you're alive. Well, that sounds crazy, but you know what I'm saying? We just saying that we want every single person that was there to be alive.
Absolutely.
And if you're not found yet, I hope that, you know, these first responders, second, third, fourth responders, they're out there trying to save lives.
And we also, you know, can send our condolences to the families that have lost people in the collapse. And, you know, once again, to those first responders, I can only imagine what you guys are seeing, what you guys are feeling, what you guys are going through. So we're all the way up here in New Jersey, but we feel y'all pain.
Absolutely. Let's start the game. All right. So this one is a little different because I'm going to do most of them from the BET Awards, okay?
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
So during the most recent installment of the BET Awards, former country artist and current rap artist Lil Nas X kisses a background dancer, a male background dancer, at the conclusion of his performance. Smarts, I ask you, is it the bullshit that if Britney Spears kissed a female background singer instead of Kevin Federline, she wouldn't have gone AWOL, pregnant, and non-existent in pop music?
Oh, wow. You know what? I'm not even going to touch that, man. People can kiss whoever they want to kiss, man.
I mean,
it was a big deal when she did it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just
You know
saying
what I'm
that maybe she should have kissed the woman. She wouldn't have had a baby.
Oh.
So for that reason, is it the BS?
It might be a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
So I see you started. You crazy.
Shout out to all my gay Americans. I got you.
Absolutely.
I got you. Happy Pride. I got you. All right, here goes the next one. During the most recent installment of the BET Awards, the first version of Will Smith, or you can say Will Smith is the first version of this person, Queen Latifah, accepted the Lifetime Achievement Award. She thanked her son and her partner, who is a woman, and ended her speech with a simple peace and happy pride. Smarts, is this the bull that Fox, as in the TV network, Fox, made Queen Latifah a straight woman on Living Single, as if Black Americans could not handle watching a Black lesbian couple on TV in the 90s if she starred in the show Living Single?
Facts. That is some bull.
I'm just saying,
Facts.
None of us believe that she was having sex with Tresh. Just because she acted that on Jason's lyric
Facts.
and did it again on Living Single, none of us believed it in the first place. Just keeping it real.
Facts.
If you ask me, I thought she was having sex with Moni Love the whole time.
Facts.
The whole time. Anyway, doesn't matter. She's a queen. We all know what's going on. All right, here goes the next one. It looks like WAP stands for winning and pregnant, if you ask Cardi B.
Okay.
The recent Grammy Award winner has debuted on the BET Awards her new Baby Bump during a live performance alongside her husband Offset and the other two members of Migos, Takeoff and Quavo. Smarts, is it the bull that Cardi B complained about men lie, cheating, and stealing, tells women to empower themselves by not worrying about these whack ass, then turn right the around and have a second child with the Styles P version of Migos and not even the Jadakiss version of the Migos?
Wow. There's some hypocrisy going on in that. Some bull.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know. I'm just saying.
Hey, man, you can't put a stipulation on love. You can talk all, it's easy to say.
She went off on Offset the first time he
But
cheated.
it's easy. It's like this goes. I mean, this segment might be a little long, but all them ladies that be listening to their single friends that ain't got no man, Cardi B, he telling y'all to do one thing, but Offset, Offset another one.
And finally, according to CNN, IKEA has unveiled LGBTQ themed sofas. Okay, these are LGBTQ. You keep adding letters. LGBTQ themed sofas for people who identify themselves as non-binary, asexual, transgender, lesbian, and gay. Smarts, I ask you. Smarts, I ask you. I ask you. Smarts, I ask you. Smarts. Here we go. I ask you, is it the bull that my Black gay brother has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sofas to choose from? Meanwhile, my thank you white Republicans for making Juneteenth a national holiday chair is still on pre-order? You ain't gotta answer that.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. Listen, it's all good. It's all good, gay people. It's all good. But here's my thing. There is a gay Black man somewhere in America that rather be just gay. Because guess what? Police ain't over here trying to with a gay Black man. You know why? Because they going home to one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's a bunch of us. I'm a head in the colony. Hold on. Everybody on their mountain, everybody marching for a young nigga like me to get tsunami on it. I'ma get it, I'ma win it, baby. I'll be on my curry till I crash your bird 40 on the tech. Yeah, I'm acting nerdy if it's at the Appalachian to the Appalachian. I'ma do whatever that they take to make a Black a nation. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sweets, and I'm your chief flight attendant. On behalf of the pilot and the entire crew, welcome aboard the late night flight. And here is your captain, the Nile River of New Jersey, the pilot of Tuskegee Training, the greatest honey badger who has ever lived, the creator of Black Pilot Radio and the Late Night Flight. Here is the victorious one, Nasor Nuru.
What up, my passengers? We are first in priority and will be departing in 5 minutes. We appreciate your business. Again, we appreciate your business. With that being said, this flight ain't cheap. Donate to the Cash App, $ the late night flight. It might be a little turbulence, but we are predicting clear skies on our way to our next destination. But before we do us a solid. Give us a like on our Facebook page. Follow us on IG to click the link tree in the bio. Chirp at us, why don't ya? On Twitter at The Late Night Flight. And you can catch all 51 episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, The Late Night QR Scan, wherever podcasts are available. Now let's take off.
Welcome back to The Late Night Flight. Nasua Nuru, co-producer Smartz. He is on the show all day long on this episode.
Hey.
Very happy for that.
Hey.
Y'all can check out my man Smartz World at Facebook. He has his own Facebook page. Of course, on IG. He's big on Clubhouse. If for all my underground artists, or even independent artists, or even signed artists that need consultation services to make sure you are on top of your game, let me tell you something. Smartz has not only produced, published, I already said produced, but he has done so many things for hip-hop acts, R&B acts in the Northeast. I tell you right now, he's done a lot for me as an artist, as just a man, period. You know what I mean? This dude right here is like the black version of Mike Krzyzewski, like Coach K. You know what I mean? Check him out.
I'm always here to help, man. Thank you for the introduction and the big up and everything. I'm just here to help, man. Y'all can just follow me on Instagram.
He sound like one of them white coaches that be boosting on the loader, right? He be like, listen, you need a house? What you need? I'm just joking. You know I do real estate. You need a part? You need a place? What's good? Talk to me.
Yeah, I got an apartment vacant right now that we trying to rent out. So
that's what I'm talking about. You know? The plug of all plugs. All right, so check me out.
Let's go.
I just heard that Chad Moss was at karaoke night. Or was it that Little Bow Wow had a versus with Soulja Boy? Which one was that? I thought it was Chad Moss doing karaoke. No? Okay. It was
definitely Bow Wow.
Yo, let me tell you something. When you got a grown 32-year-old doing 16-year-old raps, it's karaoke night. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping that real.
Nah, bro. I'm just keeping that real. To hear it, bro. Those was #1 hit records. It don't matter if he was 2 years old. Michael Jackson, when he was doing his concerts and he was hitting you with the stuff he was doing when he was 12, nobody batted an eye.
That's true. But it seems so sad.
He can't help it, bro.
It just looks so sad.
You know what he told Soulja Boy? I don't gotta rap no more.
He don't.
So
he don't.
Right. While you was out there doing the book, like he don't gotta rap no more. So I wasn't mad. Like he didn't have to have nothing new.
He did.
He retired early. He younger than me and retired.
How about that? To be a child star getting it like that.
He got it.
Now, let's just talk about the actual verses real fast.
Okay.
Real fast.
Right.
So I'll give you what I saw, because I only saw 10 minutes of it.
I watched the whole thing, but okay.
That's why I mess with you. That's why it gets down with you. You know what I'm saying? So check me out. So what I saw was, in my opinion, just opinion, the best looking, best presented verses so far. And I think that's because of the pandemic loosening it up.
Facts.
People was there. Like, it was an actual live crowd. Like, this looked like a pregame of the BET Awards out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it did.
So it looked like a real show.
Mm-hmm.
And they brung, like, so when they brung the guest out, like, it just looked like something.
It was like a production. It was a concert.
Exactly.
Right.
I remember watching, like, me personally, I went to go see at, what's that place? PNC Arts Bank? Or PNC Arts Center.
Okay.
That's down, like, by Asbury Park.
Okay.
I saw the Lil Wayne versus Drake battle. You remember that? They had a tour where it was like Lil Wayne versus Drake.
Yeah.
So he would do one of his old songs, like Lil Drake be like, oh, that's some old stuff. Like, get into this. And it was wild. I liked it. You know what I mean? So that's what I saw from Chad Moss and Soulja Boy. With all that being said, of course, Bow Wow won.
Yes, he did.
He has better music and he presented himself better.
He did.
I still think that I don't like the matchup. I get the matchup because one has childhood hits and one was a legit childhood star.
I get the matchup because of the I'm the first one argument.
Okay.
Soulja Boy's always the first one to do X, Y, and Z. The first one to do X, Y, and Z. They did have real issues back in the days too. They had disagreements. You saw that they probably was the first internet beef, right? When you think about it, they was the first looking tough they both looking tough on the cameras. So for all the people that were like younger than us, that were growing up with them, this was a big deal for the people that was growing up with them. Me as an older dude, I was still like, Bow Wow was still a kid to me. You know what I'm saying? And then Soulja Boy was even more of a kid. Only time I really turned up to Soulja Boy was in the club. I didn't turn up to Soulja Boy in the house. But I did turn up the Bow Wow on MTV.
Yes.
I did turn up the Bow Wow on my TV screen.
Yes.
I didn't turn up the Bow Wow in the club.
Never.
So it was I'm the first kind of thing. Bow Wow was a young star. He had a lot of #1 hits. The first child. He was breaking a lot of records as the first child
rap artist.
Rap artist. He's the Prince of hip hop.
I gotta give him that.
I could see the matchup in the I'm the first argument.
Now, me and Smarts agreed that the best verses that we both have saw was Bounty Killer and Beanie Man.
Absolutely.
That was the best one. Like just from a presentation standpoint, the music, the performances,
the energy,
the
cops coming in and they kicking the cops. They kick the cops out. You don't want to be that guy, do you?
Yo.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was real.
It will never be another verses like that ever again.
Imagine if they did it live. Like if they had the same platform.
It would have been in Jamaica.
That's
with
what
like a Sting, like you know how they do the Sting festivals or how they do.
Yes.
Yo, it would have been. They would have never left, bro. It would have been like a 5-6 hour versus, bro.
It'd have been it'd have been lit. People would have been drunk, tequila, Jamaican rum, bunch of regular smoke just would have been out there. It'd have been a great time. It would have been a great time. So let's use these last 4 minutes to, as far as this segment, to do our top 5 verses. As far as we're going to fantasy book 5 verses that you would want to see personally.
Okay.
They have to be living. They have to be alive. And you know what? I'm going to hate on you right now. That Diana Ross thing, it ain't happening. All right? No 90-year-old people. No disrespect.
Nope.
All right, you know what? Fine.
It don't matter.
It kind of matters.
We had Patty, bro.
But Patty's still singing though. Diana Ross is watching Blackish. You understand?
I hear you.
You understand?
I hear you.
I'm just saying.
But when I give y'all the verses, y'all gonna agree with me.
Let's start with yours then first.
When we start with, since we talking about Diana Ross, we gonna start that. I said I would want to see a Diana Ross and Beyonce versus. The only reason why I say that, because those two people are iconic women of their time.
They definitely are.
On another level. I'm talking about global pop level.
They are.
No they can go hit by hit. Beyonce is going to be very respectful.
Yes.
You see the Diana Ross influence on Beyonce.
Yes.
We can even just do what do you call it? A collage of the hairdos. You know what I'm saying? Versus
I just don't think Diana Ross wants to shake her hips no more. She'll have her.
She don't have to.
She'll have a fine ass daughter do it for her.
Hey, B, listen, man. She's Diana Ross, bro. The records is gonna speak for themselves, bro. Beyonce will dance for her and do the Diana Ross dances for her.
Can you go to the next one? You said everything right.
All right.
You said
Migos, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Perfect. I like that. They actually are the same group. Sort of.
Right.
Sort of.
And for me, it would be the battle of the production, bro. It's not even the fast rapping in the bars, because every single one of them get busy, right?
Yeah.
It just be the beats, bro. Like when you hear the Bone Thugs beats versus those Migos beats, like that, I think from a generational standpoint, the younger ones is going to obviously be biased. But people that live through both of them, they understand what I'm saying.
Let's go to the next one.
All right, cool. So I want to say Daz Dillinger and Primo.
Now this is on a production, right?
Producer side.
Now, could you tell the listeners a couple of hits that Daz Dillinger responsible for? Because I think
he did most of Tupac's joints.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know that because a lot of people that think Daz Dillinger, they think Dog Pound from the Rip. They don't even think.
Right, but a lot of the records that the Dog Pound was on, Daz was making them.
So are you telling me he's the West Coast version of Havoc from Mobb Deep?
Pretty much. Like,
would you say he's a better producer than Havoc from Mobb Deep?
No. I wouldn't put them up against one another.
Okay.
Because they both are like raw, they real, raw, gritty.
Got it.
From their town. From their hoods.
I'm thinking the similarity, not to cut you off, bro. I'm just thinking the similarity only because they're both from a 2-man group and they're the producer of the 2-man group.
But Daz catalog on the low is like, he was in a right place. He was at Death Row Records. Like, he was at a right place where a lot of records was being made, and he was the one making a lot of those records.
Yeah, and he probably got to have the
my ambitions as a writer is Daz Dillinger, bro.
Yo, hold up. So my man, hold on. All right, we about to go to the number one for you, but after you just told me that, Daz is far beyond a better producer than Havoc. Now that you told me that, are you serious?
Shook Ones
was hard.
Stop it. I don't want to go through it with you with that. I don't want to go through.
It's all right, man. You're a New Yorker. I get it. I get it. I don't want to do that. You're right.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's the wrong type of argument to have, bro.
You're right.
It's the wrong type.
That's better. So, number one. All right, come on. Let's go.
I had a few more. I can't even remember the other ones because those are the two that stuck out to me.
I ain't gonna lie. So far, the four.
KRS-One and J, bro.
Woo!
The Battle of the Blueprints.
The Battle of the Blueprints.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened through the trials and tribulations while you're seated. In a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing around the drink menu as well as the brunch menu. We only have chicken or waffles or both, so choose wisely. And thank you for flying the late night flight.
Welcome back to the Late Night Flight. Nassau Nuru, co-producer Smarts. Before we get into our discussion about the Pudding Pop Man, I just want y'all to know I was watching. I was about to say I was reading. Sound like I was watching. I was watching this post from a sister named Antoinette Tony Williams. They have a Riding for Rookies beginner level riding class. They're riding the dipstick, all right? But I want you to look at this. So you're going to hear some of the background, America, but check this out, Smarts. Look at this. Look at this one lady right here in the gray. Like, she twerking as if she's in the club.
Right.
Look at this. Look at this. Don't get me wrong. This is a single man's dream to just walk in his class and like, hey, what happened?
Right,
What's going on here?
Right.
But ladies, I just want y'all to know that you gotta ride the real thing in order to learn.
Can you do it like that with a... Nah, I ain't even gonna do it.
I mean, but could you?
I ain't even gonna say it.
I ain't gonna lie, because I see a lot of women that be twerking, pop locking, doing all that Megan Thee Stallion stuff, and then when they get on the, you know what, they making the pony. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They making the donkey, and not that type of donkey.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a jackass.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Smarts, did you check out the new verses? I know we was talking about Chad Moss doing karaoke, but did you hear?
Yeah, Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat do the verses. Why did they do it so soon though? Like, that was like an undercard. It is like it's crazy. Anyway, continue.
It's you're right about that.
Like, wow, they just slid that on in there.
They slid that on in there. But I will say this: Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown are two non-singing hit makers.
Word
is born. And Bobby Brown, if you want to be real about it,
yes,
it was Michael Jackson in the 80s, but right under Michael Jackson, it was Bobby Brown.
The bad boy. The original bad boy.
The original bad boy.
Yes, sir. Going around knocking them, you know what I mean? You just hide your wife. Don't leave your girl around me.
Don't. Ugly as hell, but don't leave your girl around me.
The dance move, the pelvic thrust, all the thrusting.
I do what I want to do. It's my prerogative.
He was the first one throwing his crotch all in your mother's face. Or your grandmother's face, depending on how old you are.
Michael Jackson didn't do the crotch move until late 80s, early 90s.
No. Bobby Brown was sweating with his shirt off with his crotch in your mother's or your grandmother's face. It depending on how old you are. Let's just keep it a bean.
So, Black America is in a divisive or divisive, however you want to use that word, they're in that state right now because America's pudding pop, Bill William Cosby himself, is out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I hear the hoochie screaming.
Yo, don't make me laugh.
Feeding for money and alcohol, the life of an East Side player from Philly. This all about.
Bro.
Yo.
Don't make me laugh, bro.
In West Philadelphia, all about.
Chill, bro. Look, we're not trying to look.
No. Yeah, tell us.
No slight to the victims.
Yes.
We're not trying to poke any fun to anyone that was victimized by anybody. You know what I'm saying?
At all.
Not at all.
At all.
We are divided completely on Bill Cosby being free.
I'm telling you, there are some Black Americans that's like, I can't believe the American government system has done this and let him out. And then you got some that's like, yo, pop a bottle and a Quaalude, my homie is out.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
It's crazy. Why are Black Americans are turning their head, they're turning their head around like they don't want to see the BS that, and no disrespect to Bill Cosby. Bro, you did some BS.
Yeah, he did. He admitted to some BS. Now, so all right, so this is the huge conflict of this whole thing. We heard something that we was not supposed to hear.
Right.
Legally, procedurally,
right.
Him admitting to giving a woman Quaaludes,
yes,
et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Whether it was a party drug, whatever excuse people want to say.
It's a sleeping drug, but keep going.
No, people used to take it.
Yeah.
No, like people popping Xannies and all that stuff right now.
I was just saying that
Quaaludes back then.
Based on what the drug is a sleeping pill.
It's a sleeping pill.
It's a sleeping pill. That's all I was just putting out there. Doesn't make it right or wrong. I'm just saying what it is. It's not a Xanny. It's not a Roxy. It's not an ecstasy.
It's not. But people used to be like, yo, you want to pop some? And they would pop them. So
exactly.
it's like people party and they pop Xannies and they do all that stuff now. They was doing that back then.
Exactly.
Now, whether he did it and he put it in their drink or like that all of that.
Well, he did that. He admitted that.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but the justice system broke their own rules to catch him.
Yes.
So that's the whole conflict. We know he did it. And the victims and everybody is like, oh, that's messed up. But you also can't give somebody immunity, make them admit to something, and then throw them in jail for it. You can't.
I know. It's one of those things where, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, because the late night flight is about speaking on America's absurdities. And if
it's absurd.
If this isn't absurd, then come on now.
That's right.
Here's what's absurd about it. What's absurd about it is white government, and matter of fact, screw the government for a second. No disrespect to the government. White NBC.
Yep.
Said, you know what? You, Bill, we got to move for you. And on top of it, this is how you know this country is ran by a whole nother hue. Because this man, they know how big and important this man is to Black America.
Facts.
They know. No.
Absolutely.
NBC knew that 1987. They said, this is the one. We got to keep him no matter what. They put him on the board.
Right.
He was on the board. He was the token on the board of NBC.
Right.
Now, they didn't like Bill Cosby for whatever reason. As time go on, they found a move. Bam. And let me tell you something. When you reach that level of executiveness, I guess you want to use that term. In my opinion, they all got something in their closet. No,
of course, the Me Too movement tells you a lot of people went down. A lot of powerful dudes went down.
Right.
Up in the upper echelon of quote unquote of that industry. So
here's my point. And I feel bad that I'm about to say this, but it's real to me. I feel as though if Black America can just wake up and just all be in unison on one thing, whether they all agree that what Bill Cosby did was bad, or they're going to all agree and say, leave Bill Cosby alone. Please, I'm talking about Black people.
Right.
Don't be divisive about this. We're going to all be on one case, or all be on the other. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Bill Cosby. This man, as far as what he did for television, you wouldn't hear a Dave Chappelle, even though Dave Chappelle is way different than what Bill Cosby wanted to present. Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart, you would not hear these type of people if it wasn't for Bill Cosby. I'm just keeping that real.
Yeah.
I want to put that out there. No, I'm just saying.
Absolutely. No,
I'm just giving the man his credit.
Right.
However, if you ask me which side do I stand on, it's not that I stand against Bill Cosby. I'm just not with the BS.
I mean, you heard him admit it.
He can admit it all he wants, but I'm just saying, what he admitted garnered jail time.
Right, but you can't send somebody to jail if you say, yo, just tell me, we ain't gonna send you to jail. Like, you can't do that.
I'm not.
So that's the, no. Right. That's the whole debate. Like, how the justice system treats us in general. That's a clear indication. Whether he's guilty or not, I don't think is the question. Whether he should serve jail time or not isn't even the question. He should, like, if he was, the evidence that they got, they put him on a trial, and he got convicted.
Okay.
So, is he guilty? Yes. But procedurally, they shouldn't have told him. They shouldn't have gave him immunity. That's all I'm saying. So that the justice system does not work. But now you can say, does the justice system work? It's like you put up evidence against somebody that killed somebody, and then DNA or you find out that there was a false confession.
Right, I get
or
that.
Or something like that.
But he did it though.
I understand. But when we look at all these different cases on how we get jammed up and how we get tied up in the justice system, they shouldn't have promised him immunity. Because if they wouldn't have promised him immunity, he wouldn't have admitted to it.
Why did they release him in the first place?
They released him because in the deposition that they did for him, they told him that he would not be criminally prosecuted for whatever he says.
You know something?
And they took that evidence and criminally prosecuted him for it and sent him to jail. So that's what happened.
So NBC found some way just to lock this little. Sorry,
they ruined him. They ruined him and locked him up.
Yeah.
Whether he did it or not is it like that's no question. He admitted to it. But for them to get him, for those folks to get him to admit to it, they had to make a promise that they probably shouldn't have made.
NBC. Know what? You NBC. I don't even mean to curse. No, you. Because you know what y'all did? I'm going to tell you what y'all did. Now that he's released and everybody, the rich people in the world are going to look at Bill Cosby as normal Bill Cosby. The same way O.J. Simpson is out and he's just O.J. now.
Yeah.
So hear me out. You know what they did? They put, he has a criminal record. Now he can't get executive type jobs for the rest of his old life. That's what they did to him. That's what they did to him.
Right.
That's all they did to him. I mean, the man rich as hell. He don't need to do anything.
He don't need it. So what? There's a lot of. I don't want to talk about this too long, but there's a lot of conspiracies about, or a lot of talk about what he was planning to do. Buying the network and doing all that, and they didn't want. It was all of that was built to jam him up. And,
exactly.
And whether I believe that or not, whether anyone believes that or not, the way he was handled was wrong. Even though he did it, like he said he did it, but they treated him wrong into getting him to admit that he did it.
I understand that,
and that's wrong too.
So now, Bill Cosby, this is what you're gonna have to do, player, because unfortunately, you can't put your name behind a new black streaming app. No one's gonna F with you.
No.
So this is what you're going to have to do. I'm going to give you an idea. There's two things you can do. There's a streaming app that has new black shows. It's called All Black, BLK. You can buy them out. Or you can deal with traditional cable. There's 3 different black American stations. 2 of them, I don't even like them. You got Bounce.
Okay.
You have Aspire. But the one I want you to buy is TV One.
What the f***? This that pilot right here.
We got a pop-up music and merch event July 17th at the Multiverse Studio, presented by the usual suspects. If you ain't there, you are obviously in the wrong place, unless you're in the hospital. That's different. I'm gonna give you a pass. But if ladies, fellas, if you ain't doing that on the 17th, please pull up on us. We're gonna have a lot of dope vendors, a lot of different things. We're supporting, black-owned businesses, having people coming out, making connections, and having a good time. We have an after party going on in the studio right after the event, so there'll be something you do not want to miss. So if you have the time, July 17th, which is right around the corner, please feel free to pull up on us, come support, come show love, come have a good time. I don't agree with it, but look, at this point, if you making, on the flip side to that, if I'm making millions of dollars, and one of the only stipulations for me to make this money is to not smoke weed, then guess what? I ain't fucking smoking weed.
Exactly.
I'd rather be rich, not smoking, than a broke smoking all I want. I'm just saying.
Welcome back to the Late Night Flight. Nasua Nuru, Charlie Rock. You know what that means. It is off the court time. We're going to be talking some sports real fast for y'all. So check me out, Charlie. First things first. The Milwaukee Bucks have defeated the Atlanta Hawks 118-107, Game 6, to advance to the NBA Finals to face Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and the Phoenix Suns. I don't have the spread yet. I don't even know if Antetokounmpo is going to be playing Game 1. This is a return for both of these teams over 50 years for Milwaukee. And then for Phoenix, they haven't been there since the one and only Charles Barkley himself got Phoenix to the NBA Finals, where they lost to Michael Jordan and the Bulls in 6 games. First things first, I have to admit, even though you said it would be a little easier, you were right. Atlanta did not have no one else that could score the rock except Trae Young. I'll give you that. Middleton dropped 23 points in the third quarter, acted up. I believe Drew Holiday either had a triple-double or he flirted with a triple-double, but they seem to be a fair duo in that game. Just tell me your thoughts about Milwaukee's run in the playoffs and what do you see them doing versus the Suns in the finals?
Well, first and foremost, shout out to Milwaukee for actually making it to the finals, because for one thing is for certain, Milwaukee's not a place you want to live. No disrespect to anybody who live out there. That's horrible. But, I think without having Giannis on the court, it allowed other players to open up the game, which means that Brook Lopez can now occupy the space in the middle, which allowed him to be the dominant Brook Lopez that we know from Brooklyn and not be a three-point shooter that's sitting in the corner. So that actually opened up their game, and it allowed Chris Middleton to attack and allowed Drew Holiday to attack. And I think it worked in their favor, man. So I'm happy they're there. They got a tough task ahead of them dealing with the Phoenix Suns, which is another place black people shouldn't live, but that's another story.
Hold up. So why you have an issue with black people living in Republican Phoenix, Arizona?
You say that one more time?
Why do you have an issue with black Americans living in Republican Phoenix, Arizona?
Because you just answered your own question. 1, 2, and it's hotter than a mother. No reason. If you live in Phoenix and you black, shout out to you, but that's not where I want to be. But, much respect to whatever you like.
I dig it. So, I'm not even going to lie to you, I have a gentleman's sweep going on. Suns, I got the Suns beating Milwaukee in 5 games. 5 games.
In what?
5 games.
Here's the deal.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm let you finish.
My only thing I'm just saying, the reason why I'm saying 5 games is because I do not know when Giannis is coming back. I know everybody going to be like, he's going to be back game 1. I just don't know. They may do let's save him for game 2.
Game 2. All right.
And that's where I just feel like that might be 1 game too late.
So let's say this. If Giannis is back, and they Bucks play to their potential, I feel the Bucks 6.
Okay. You said the Bucks in 6, you said.
I would say Bucks in 6 or 7.
Bucks in 6 or 7. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Paul got hurt, because it seemed like the gods is against him. Like, this man went through LeBron James, COVID, and he got to the NBA Finals. If he don't win this year, he gonna have to wrap it up, back it up, and go home. Because that means Jesus don't want you to win at this point.
And that's where I'm at. I'm just letting you know. That's why I'm saying the Suns too. It's like Chris Paul done did so much in his career. It's like he needs this. He wants this to validate his career though. But go ahead.
Right. He needs that. But I think the Bucks are overall a better team with more weapons. But it depends on. Bucks are great. They're not coached very well by Budenholzer. So if he doesn't make adjustments, they will lose. But if they play the way to their potential, I think the Bucks will pull this out 6-7. And that's only if Giannis is playing. Because he will be the X factor. Because Jrue Holiday and Chris Paul match up very well. Chris Middleton is the scorer. And obviously, Devin Booker's going to put up his numbers. So to me, the X factor is who's going to be able to stop or guard him.
Okay.
This is going to be the key to this series.
Okay.
If he's healthy.
I'm not
But if he's not, right, but if he's not, then we got an issue. If Giannis is not playing, I say Bucks. I would go Suns in 5.
No problem. No problem. I was going to say my X factor is obviously DeAndre Ayton. I do not think Brook Lopez can defend this man. That's just my personal opinion.
Wow.
Let's go to the next topic. So, at first, I'm going to give you some quick 80s news about what I read about the Boston Celtics, but let's go to what's going on recently. So, white power Boston, Massachusetts has kind of let go of Brad Stevens, gave him a bump. So now this man just got promoted. I don't care what y'all say. A coach, yeah, that's a great job, but when you get you're the president of basketball operations, you basically just got promoted. So
right, you running everything now.
Exactly. So he's no longer the coach. 6 seasons, he had 354 wins, 282 losses, 38 playoff wins, 40 playoff losses, and 2 All-Stars in Tatum and Brown that don't necessarily like him. Now, he winds up getting to be the head of basketball operations. They hire Emi Udoka, African-born player. I believe he's from Oregon though. Played 7 years in the NBA, was on 5 teams, averaged 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist in 18 minutes per game. So I did my research, bro. As you can tell, I thought this was the first time. I thought this was the first time in my lifetime that this has happened, where a white basketball coach got promoted for being a suck coach. That's not true. So Boston actually did this with a black person. So Casey Jones, who used to play for the Celtics when they was, when in the 50s, when they won like 8 straight championships, those days, he winds up being a coach, I believe in 1983, won 2 championships as a coach with the Larry Bird-led Celtics in 84 and 86. But then he winds up leaving in the 87-88 season and then wound up having a job in the Celtics front office from 88 to 89, but then he resigned to join the Supersonics, the Seattle Supersonics. I was about to say the Seattle Sonics, but the Seattle Supersonics as an assistant coach and a basketball consultant. So in my opinion, when I thought about that, I said, hold up, they didn't want him to coach no more, maybe because they stopped winning championships. And maybe they run was over, because that's when Jordan was about to start taking over around these mid-80s. So maybe they got him out of there, said, yo, you could work with us for a little while, but he didn't want to work with them anyway. He just like, I'm just collecting some checks. Oh, Seattle want to with me? I'm getting up out of here. I'm going to do my thing. So now my white man antenna is even more high, because I'm like, today's money in the NBA is nothing like the money in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? At all. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, this man got to have a mediocre basketball career as a coach in the NBA. He gets promoted. I'm like, yo, I haven't seen so much white privilege since your boy, James Dolan, hanging out with Isaiah Thomas. Go ahead, bro. Talk to me about this. What's going on?
So we've known this has been going on in the NBA for a while.
Yes.
Boston has been one of the places, I think, to have the first. I think they were the first team to start a black player, and then the first all black starting 5 was in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. Please, don't kill me if I'm wrong. But I do believe there's a lot of undertone things that goes on behind the scenes in Boston. Like, so if you ask me my conspiracy theory on this, I think what's going on is so we all know Boston can be a racist place to live. That's one.
That's number one.
And I think what's happening is some things are starting to come out that in order for it not to affect Danny Ainge, he had to resign. Like you hear players wise speaking about how rough it was to live in the Boston area, to even be like a wife to one of their players, saying like it was rough for them being there, all the hate and the hate speech and the racism that they endured. So all of this stuff started to coming out underneath Danny Ainge, and it seems like they wanted to sweep it under the rug. But people were this was starting to pick up traction, and I think the only way Boston figured it would go, you know what, let's get rid of Danny Ainge. If this comes out, we can say we made the best possible decision for us, and they let him go, and this is why they gave Brad Stevens that job. Because there's no way Brad Stevens, first of all, he went to the Eastern Conference Championship with no Kemba and no Kyrie, with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then it seems like you regress every year since then. And then you get a job to be a president of basketball operations. That don't make no sense to me. So I think what happened was, for one, I think Brad Stevens, and this is no disrespect to Brad Stevens, I think he's a great basketball mind, but at the same time, I think he lost the players lost their faith in him. So at this point, I think it's more of the fact that people were starting to hear these rumblings about how crazy it was to live and be a player in Boston, or to be a black family in Boston underneath his regime, and they had to make changes. And they gave Danny Ainge the option to either step down or walk away because they didn't want to fire him. And that's what happened. In a nutshell.
Last question, get you out of here. So, here's the thing. I got a lot of jokes about Sha'Carri Richardson and cannabis. Right. I really do. Before I get into her, though, I do want to hate on the Olympic Anti-Doping Agency. And it's not because of her. It's because of another name that just got banned for 5 years. Her name is Brianna McNeil. Okay? Mm-hmm. Brianna McNeil is a hurdler. She's the 2016 Olympic champion in the 100 meter hurdles. And because she didn't want to tell the anti-doping agency about her abortion that she had in 2020, because they as you know, they moved the Summer Olympics to 2021 because of COVID, because of what happened with the pandemic. So she look, this is a woman's issue when it comes to abortion. I am not a doctor by no stretch of the imagination. So I don't know what drugs that she took in order to make sure that, because mind you, this is a world-class athlete. When they wound up making that decision whether they want to keep a kid or to do an abortion, exactly. You know what I mean? They got to still
your life and your career.
Exactly. So she made a choice. She did that because she thought that she had to go do the Olympics in 2020. They moved it to 2021. Long story short, whatever drugs that she wound up taking or having to be a part of the whole procedure with the abortion, now she's banned for 5 years, bro. 5 years. And now we're at this sister Sha'Carri, where cannabis just got added on in 2021 to the banned substances for the anti-doping agency. Now, look, I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, I grew up around traditional black people. And I know that if I walked into my home after I got kicked out of a college because I was smoking weed, let me tell you something. Ain't gonna be none of them. Oh, it's okay, Nasor. It's okay. It's gonna be whoopings, Bibles thrown at me.
No, not whoopings.
Whoopings. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Whoopings, all type of lacerations on my body. I'm over here looking like the passion of the you know what. All right, I'm just keeping it real. And I'm not here to bash the sister. Like that's not my place, none of my business, anything. All I'm saying to you is two things, Sha'Carri. Like matter of fact, I don't even know what to say to you. I actually just want you to know that as a man that has smoked out a lot of women in my apartment, I got you. Like, why you don't got nothing to do lately? You know what I mean? Like, other than
pull up to the crib.
Pull up to the crib.
Get some good greenery.
Good greenery.
You know what I'm saying?
My man got some great gummies. I got whatever you need.
Let me stimulate your mind, Craig. Pull up. Listen, I don't know if you listen. Pull up, smoke, hang out, and chill. If she say no, I wouldn't press the issue. Because for some reason, she looked like she could fight. I'm just going to put that out there.
We're about to get to our next destination, but before we do, we strongly recommend to drink responsibly and pass that bong to me. You feel me? I got bars. Oh, and give us a follow on Instagram at The Late Night Flight. And give us a like on Facebook, The Late Night Flight. And thank you for flying The Late Night Flight.
What up, my passengers? This is your captain speaking. So, before I get into this dope interview with my homegirl, Angel Blue, please make sure you follow her on Instagram at I am Angel Blue, BLU. And check out her business page, Blue_Sweets. She got some really good pastries for y'all. Y'all gotta check that out. Tastes amazing. But here goes the interview with Angel Blue. Remember, this flight ain't cheap. Please donate to us. $ The Late Night Flight on Cash App. And thank you for flying The Late Night Flight.
Welcome back to the Late Night Flight. You are live, Nassau Naru at Multiverse Studios. And with me, I have a musician by way of Hillside, New Jersey, a voice of an angel. And not because she is an angel, we're gonna get to that in a second, but she also has an album out right now, Angel Blues Dance Remix. Go check that out. She's also a owner of a side hustle, and I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. She is Angel Blue. What's going on with you?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
I love your energy.
Thank you.
You always shining and smiling. Where do you get that positivity from? First off, let's just talk about that.
Well, I'm just a jolly person. The world is too negative to be, to add on. You have to, just give that positivity out. And then hopefully you could brighten up somebody's day. So.
Wow. So you just wake up in the morning like, oh.
No, I'm not going to say it like that.
You just be like, oh, racism. No, come on. It's too much. No. Buy some pastries. Come on. Let's talk about that. Tell us the name of your pastry business. What made you start it up? How long you been doing that for?
Okay, so the name of my pastry business is Blue Sweets.
Okay.
And I started this during the coronavirus.
Of course.
And I was like, I need a hustle. It's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stores are closing. Yeah. I'm like, at first I was very skeptical of doing it and stuff because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get support or how much is going to flourish and stuff.
Right.
But I started it and people hit me up. I started making cakes. One time for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I think it was last year I had to make 12 cakes.
12 cakes?
Oh my gosh.
So you was in that stove. You was in that kitchen just hot.
I was hot.
All night.
Yes.
Just
12
hot.
cakes.
Under pressure.
Right.
So how long does it take for each cake for you to make, for one cake? How long does that take?
Well, I want to say an hour because it's not just making a cake. You have to design the cake too and stuff. That's my favorite part. So designing the cake.
So you one of those that get the Gucci bag and you can cut it up.
I'm not there yet because I don't have the right stuff yet, but I'm starting. And I do eventually want to open up my, my business and stuff while I'm singing.
Right.
And then, have my own restaurant.
Now, I hope I'm not getting you in trouble with your parents or anything like that, but are any one of these pastries CBD?
Actually, recently I started making edibles.
Oh, okay.
But I took a break from it, but yeah. I want to get more into tune with it. I want to start making different stuff.
Let me tell you, my favorite color is black, but one thing about my apartment is blue.
Really?
Yeah, so
that's
dope. Let me tell you, a female friend of mine, well, I can't say she's a friend. She's an associate. She's a really good person. I just don't know her like that. She's from out of state. And she was just talking about how blue is just this exceptional color of wealth and royalty.
Right.
So when I heard about your name, Blue, and then you wear the blue hair, blue eyebrows, you just be all into it. Do you get that same feeling when you rock blue, or is it just because this is your name and I'm just going all out with it? How does that work?
Well, honestly, my favorite color ever since I was a child was blue and stuff. And I've been wearing blue hair since 2014.
How about that?
Exactly. So when I do feel blue, it's kind of like an alter ego of my real self and stuff like that. It's like, when I'm versus my real self, I'm just my regular self. And then when I'm Angel Blue, I'm I'm ready to perform type of thing. So yeah.
So when you see Miss Sha'Carri Richardson, you be like, go ahead, girl. I see you. You got the orange, I got the blue eye.
Yeah.
We find 3 more colors. We some Power Rangers out here. That's right.
Girl. Chill.
Oh, you find one more girl, be a pop-up girl. I got you. That's what's up. Tell me about this dance remix. Because when I first saw you perform behind your band, Black Rose, I said, wow, she has a ballad style voice. That's what's up. And then I saw you at your second, third, and fourth show. I'm like, hold up, she be dancing too? Hold up, I ain't know we was getting a Rihanna, Chris Brown rendition. Not like that. I'm just saying, I'm talking about entertainers. I'm talking about performers. We're not talking about the off the stage stuff.
Right.
Man, but anyway. But no, so what's this dance remix about? Why did you want to put together just this dance remix for people? What's that come from?
So I actually started dancing before I started singing. And a lot of people don't know that, like, if you know me from my town, some people know me as a dancer, some people know me as a singer and stuff. So I kind of had stopped for a while and stuff. And I was like, I kind of want to start dancing again. Like, cause that was like not my first love, cause singing has always been my first love, but that's when I actually started getting into dance first. But when I was like, I have like a couple of songs that can sound dance, like where you could dance to and stuff. I'm like, why not just make a dance mix and stuff? And I did it. And I had a club beat, I have a house beat. Yeah. And what is the other one? I think it's just Mancha Bitches, which is just like a pop beat type of thing. So I was like, I'm ready to dance. I'm ready to show my dance moves and all that stuff because I've been holding back so long. And then I just made it happen. Your
roots coming up as a child, as far as your musical roots, is it more house? Is it just old school R&B? Is it club? Which one is it for you?
Actually, it's hip hop.
Oh,
that's where I started dancing. Well, my roots kind of is not none of that stuff. That I learned this like when I was in high school because my mom is like a gospel singer.
Oh, okay.
Like she sings in the church. My father was more like on the dancing side. He was I think he was into like house music. I guess.
Right.
That old school.
That old school house music.
Yeah.
I want to thank you,
right?
Heavenly Father,
exactly,
for shining your light on me.
Yeah.
It makes me. I'm sorry.
Hey.
This is your interview. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's my
I be vibing. I know that it happened without you.
Sing it. What?
Without you. All right, that's enough. It's such a long time. I gotta get my man voice. It's such a long time for me to happen. All right. Somebody.
I had you in the back. Like,
I know.
Hey. Yo.
That's what's up. You know, the next time we have an interview, let's find a song that we could just sing together.
Okay,
karaoke style.
Do it.
Matter of fact, hold up. What's a song like? I gotta find a song that I may know. Like, let's do a song from a sitcom. Do you know any song from a sitcom? She like, I don't watch TV.
I mean, I do, but I don't really watch TV like that.
Like, all right. So you know what? The next time we come on, I'm gonna like find lyrics to like Family Matters.
Oh, okay. I
or
get
different strokes, and then we'll just sing it. Like, you know, as days go by, it's a different love of the family. Right? We gotta do that.
Yep.
I've been telling you that I want you to be one of my first guests when I do the visual show. And I want you to perform in front of your band, Black Rose.
Oh, let's do it.
How did you and Black Rose, how did that all start together? Because Jers told me this is your band, that you founded this band. So how did this work?
So the way it happened is, at first, I didn't really like working with bands and stuff because I kind of wasn't that confident, like with a band behind me. I'm like, I have a show track and this is what it is, blah, 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 blah. And Jerry's been telling me like, yo, get a band. And I'm like, oh boy. And I wanted to, if I was going to get a band, I wanted to build from the bottom with them. Like, I didn't want them to be like famous already or have their stuff all together. Not saying that that's a problem, but I just wanted them to build like all of us build together.
Right.
So the drummer, he lives around the corner from me. And he was like, you need a band? I'm like, oh boy, no. But I was like, yes, at the same time. So me and him linked. He had some people, I had somebody too.
Yeah.
And we just was like, let's just throw something in my garage. That's where we started at. And we just gonna play and see if it worked. I got a mic. Everybody bring their instrument. It was about 4 of us. Yeah, I think it was about 4 of us at the time. And then from there, we just became family. Like it's just a family now. So
you work, and I'm gonna ask you this one question. Do not be upset with me, all right? Because it is a man-woman type of question, okay? So hear me out.
Okay.
You're at Multiverse Studios. You're with BBS Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You, although you are exceptionally fine, you are the only woman that is here. How is that like for you? And how welcome? Because you know what? Because I will say this. I believe, and I'm just going off observation, because I'm my own man with my own flight that's called the Late Night Flight. I just come in here and record people and I go do my other things. I see that the men, everyone treats you like either their big sister or little sister. You're like your family. You're not just a woman in our eyes here. So do you see that for yourself? Like, yo, when I walk in here, these are my brothers. It's all good. It's never no crazy type of weird vibe between none of the men to the energy in here like that. Do you see that?
Of course. Like when I started around this, I was about 21 maybe. So like it's been a build. Like my family has been involved in the beginning and stuff like that. So I always felt comfortable. I never felt like anybody was trying to like push over or some weird energy and stuff like that. First of all, I would have did that in the beginning anyways. Like that's a dub. But yeah, we just build as a family. Like I treat them as my brother or my family or my friends or whatever. Yeah. And then we just keep it the way it is. Like, so it's no weird energy at all.
Thank you for flying the Late Night Flight. Shout out to all the pilots who contribute to the Fastest Rising podcast. If you want to contribute, DM us at the Late Night Flight.
Hey, yo, what the f***? This is a palace right here.